What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 19th HTML5 tutorial, and this is actually my first tutorial since I moved to New York. For those of you guys who were watching before, you knew that I used to live in North Carolina and then I moved up to New York a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think like a week ago today, in fact. And so yeah, the move went well. I didn't get in a car crash or anything, so I'm ready to start making some tutorials again. So let's jump right into this. In this tutorial, I'm just going to talk about all the leftover stuff that I kind of left out when I was talking about the flexible box model. So after this tutorial, you're going to know everything about laying out the flexible box model. So let's see where we picked off because I know it's been a while. Okay, so obviously by this little website, we've been talking about the WebKit box flex property, which means say you had three boxes of a fixed width and you had one that was box flex 1, it would just say, okay, take up all of the available extra space. So what it would do is it would add all these and see how much space it had left over in the parent, and it would just give this that much space. So actually, this let's see what property, this width property, you don't even need it anymore. And actually what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be deleting the width property for all of these, and I'm going to be giving all of them a box flex property of 1. So delete this, paste that in its place, delete this width, paste in its place. And the reason we don't need the width anymore is because it's automatically, if I show you guys actually, it's automatically going to figure out the width of the parent and then figure out how it can evenly flex all of these to give them all the same share of the pie. So I know this parent is like 700 pixels wide, but say this parent was 1,000 pixels wide. What it would do is it say, okay, I have 4 kids, and since they all have the same box flex value of 1, I'm going to flex them all 250 pixels. And yes, I know that we have margin and paddings as well, but I'm just giving you guys an easy example. So here is what you know already. You know that there's a box flex property of 0 whenever you're working with fixed width. You also know 1 to make it flexible. But did you know that you can have a box flex value of anything greater than 1? For example, 2, 3, 5, whatever you want. And you're saying, okay, that kind of just blows my mind because I know that oh, excuse me, got a hairball in my throat. I know that 0 makes it unflexible and 1 makes it flexible. So what the heck would 2 do? Well, let me go ahead and give you guys an example. Let's go ahead and pick on kid number 2. Hey, kid number 2. So if we go ahead and save this, we can see that, okay, kid number 2 kind of grew a little bit. So what's going on is this. You know how I told you guys if the parent was 1,000 pixels wide and you had each of these with the property of 1, then it pretty much says 1,000 divided by 4, since you have 4 kids, equals 250. Now, I didn't explain that to you guys because I didn't think you guys could do math. I explained it because of this. Whenever you have 4 kids with the even box value, it divides it evenly. However, since kid number 2 now takes up 2 spaces, what it's going to do is this. Think of it like this. This number right here says how many spaces do you want to take up. So this one takes up 1, this one takes up 2, this one takes up 1, and this one takes up 1. So now if you add them together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's going to say 1,000 divided by 5. Each space has 100 pixels. So this one takes up, excuse me, 200, 200, 400, 200. Or you can think of it like this as it's easier. Whenever you have a box flex value of 1 and 2, the one with a box flex value of 2 is going to take up twice the width of 1. And 3 would take up 3 times the width as 1. That may be an easier explanation. So let me go ahead and change this back to 1. And now what I want to do is I want to show you guys one last example, and this is the last thing I want to talk to you guys about concerning the flexible box property. So say, okay, we need to change or give mommy a height. So say we have a height of like 300 pixels. Height equals 300 pixels. So mommy is 300 pixels tall. For some reason, that's how tall we want our website. And now we say each kid has a height of, I don't know, 100 pixels. So let me just go ahead and change this right here. So go ahead and give each kid 100 pixels. And this one too. And of course this one too right there. And what we're going to do is go ahead and save this, refresh it, and take a look at it. So now we're laying out our website. Okay, that's how tall we want it. Looks pretty good. Yeah, this is how tall we want the kids, but I don't know. Like maybe we have an article and a picture here and an ad right here or something stupid. You say, okay, this website is looking pretty good, but I wish these could just move down a little bit in the center because they look kind of weird when they're jammed up against the top there. Well, what we can do is we can add a vertical alignment in the web, or excuse me, in the flexible box model. And it's not vertical align like before. You add this property whenever you want to vertically align the crap inside your box. It's WebKit, and this is going to change whenever browsers start adopting this. But for now, when you're using Chrome, it's WebKit box minus align, and it has a bunch of values. For now, I'm just going to show you guys center real quick. Whenever you center this, think of this right here as saying vertical align property. Vertically align everything in my box. That's kind of a yeah. Anyways, just go ahead and center that. And as you can see, since we added that center align property, it's center aligned vertically up and down everything inside the parent box. So as you can see, now all of these kids are in the center vertically. Again, I'm not talking about horizontally, vertically. Can't stress that enough. And actually, it isn't top, center, bottom. It has a bunch of let me think of the values. Start, end, center, baseline, and stretch. And by the way, everything by default is stretch. So if you don't mess with it at all, what it's going to do is, and if you don't get it at fixed height like this, what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and, let me go ahead and delete these heights. The reason it's not stretching is because I gave it a fixed height, but if I get rid of that, by default in the Flexbox model, everything is set to stretch. So now I should refresh this, and if I don't look like a fool, everything is stretched out perfectly. So that's the default value, but again, start is like the top and the end is the bottom. You'll figure it out. So anyways, that's all the time I have for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to get away from the flexible box model because I'm sure your brains are as packed full as much Flexbox model info as you can handle. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.